a second wave can come into this one too. It's holding its level, the volume is gone, I think so. And as you can see, it's going for a second wave right now. Wow. So we missed this one. We missed this one because it already has done a 2x. And I told you guys before that we're waiting for this coin to hopefully go into an accumulation phase. You can see here the volume has subsided, which is ideal for a second wave setup. And then volume kicks back in. And then those big candles come in. It's going to slow moon, hopefully higher than its first wave. So this is ideal. But an issue here is that you would be aping now midway through the wave. So 2x from here would be the all-time high, which we're not sure if it's gonna reach. So the best entry would be here. You would be already taking out your money at 2x, which we have to assume that some traders will do, because if you ape into this level, this is 2x. You have made 2x here, and you should take your money out. But yeah, let's keep an eye on this, and it is going for a second wave. Sometimes though, it can reverse. So as soon as it breaks the trend, as soon as it starts consolidating here or somewhere on the way up, or even going downwards, forming lower lows, you can very quickly tell. So if you can't see a green candle, you ape out of the second wave trade. Whether you have made money or you're making a small loss, as the risk is completely worth it, because you can get 2, 3, 3.5, 4x potentially for a little risk. If it goes south, you can lose 10, 15, 20%, which is not much. So as soon as you see momentum decreasing, you basically cash out of your position. But right now, it's doing great so far, but you would be aping midway. This is the only issue. You want the ideal entry because coins are time sensitive and entries and exits have to be tailored to almost perfection if you want to aim for nice gains. DEX is prepaid, so that is why it's going for a second wave. Projects which have DEX prepaid as the first wave had failed, DEX is already going to be there, you know. $300 is already invested into DEX screener, so you can't really undo it, and the developer most likely is holding. So coins which fails the first wave but they have DEX screener prepaid, they are likely to go for a second wave. So let's see what's going to happen. But I don't want the volume to come down either. So you want to look at every candle being bigger than the last. That is also crucial. And here already it's like moving kind of slow, you know. So we can't really tell if the wave is going to be the full wave higher than the first one. So this is the issue with this particular coin. The volume still isn't sufficient at the moment for a proper second wave. So the play is to spectate. And if you got in this level, would have been perfect. But yeah, we missed it. And this one is going for a second wave as well. Already done 2x. And I thought it's going to consolidate, which it still can. But it might go for a second wave if there is volume. It's decreasing though, which if you want to go for a second wave, it's not really that optimal. You want the volume to be surging in that case. So there is a divergence here. Usually it's a working correlation. The volume goes up, the price action goes up. But here it's a divergence, which makes it uncertain actually to enter in this stage. Unfortunately, you want the volume to see going up, surging in and being on an uptrend. Uptrend is important because without volume, the coin can't do anything. Whether it's a first waver, second waver, slow mooner, without the volume, nothing can happen. So it's the most important thing here. Here you can see exactly what I told you guys. When the coin breaks its momentum, breaks its pattern when it comes to being on the second wave, you cash out. So as soon as you see this, I would be cashing out because it's already down like 20% and people are taking their profits at 2x. So if there is no volume on a second waiver, you got to be careful and take your money out at the right time. Clearly you can see people taking profits or just selling, which is unfortunate because the traders broke the momentum. I want to emphasize that this is most likely, at least not right now, going for a second wave like this. It might now consolidate and then go for a second wave, but right now it's no longer going for a second wave because the pattern is broken. it's no longer a bullish trend. It has gone downwards. So let's keep it open. But this is now surging, even though the volume is telling us the opposite. So this is something to take into consideration. You can see the volume here is on a downtrend. So I would still say that this second wave is a risky one because the volume is there, but it's not really on an uptrend. Let's keep looking, but we are having some really nice analysis, really productive, really lots of information, knowledge, and everything. You can see here, if this forms now a consolidation phase like we saw right here, this could go for a third wave. So this one we're also looking at. Let's take a look at the volume. The volume is really, really non-existent, so it has to kick in. But yeah, you got to look at a few coins at once, because if you are all over the place looking for 10 coins at once, you're going to miss all of your trades. That's for sure. Because they happened really quickly. And this one is dead, by the way, as I told you. Coins below $10K in market cap, if they dip down a little, they're back to baseline. Here you can see that the developer just sold 2 seconds ago, and he was one of the last to sell, because no one is holding this anymore. It is back to baseline, as was foreseen, really. Too early for that project. Early in its market cap. Too small. So usually the most optimal entry is at 15K, because the project is not small, it's rather established, but not established yet. But it means that if your project is $20K in market cap or above, you make less in terms of profits. If it's 10K or below, you're aping in the risky project. That's why, in my opinion, the golden zone, the golden market cap is 15K. 15K. Now this one is forming some kind of higher lows now, which could be attractive because it is a bullish pattern, even though it's still double top. That doesn't change that fact, and the trend till now still is bearish. So unless it forms a higher low, we are still expecting it to come down like this. But it's all about re-examination, because the coin looks bearish now, but if crazy volume kicks in, if it forms a higher low, it can become bullish. So really those analyses, those examinations, those conclusions are short-lived. You can never tell at any point what is the coin going to do after like 30 minutes or hours. So those predictions that we have are short-term, and always when the chart evolves, when the chart grows and makes new patterns, there are obviously new signs to look at, So it's never final. When we said it's going down, for example, it can go up and then re-examine it, But till now, it's still going down. Yeah. Second wave, but we can see that finally the lack of volume is showing here. You might be thinking it's going for a second wave, but as I told you, it's risky, because the volume, we're having a divergence here. The volume was very, very low, even though the coin was going up. Now the volume has formed a pretty big candle, at least as big as the last 2 candles, but as you can see, not sufficient, already reversing. So if you aped into this coin at this level, which was catching a falling knife, by the way, risky, you would want to ape into a consolidation, sideways movement. But yeah, this coin was a really risky trade, and still is. So just screening, just learning from every coin, from every chart. We are learning, and learning literally never stops. And I aim to look at literally every coin I can find on Dex Screener, on Pump.Fun, so you can learn every day as much as possible. There are always new things to learn. You might think that you have already mastered the game, you know everything about Pump.Fun, how to trade coins here, but there is always things to learn. You are evolving, and got to adapt. And if you do not adapt, then you lose. It's all about adaptation. In 2 days, everything can change here. As you can see, the trends change, strategies change, people change, traders are evolving, they're smarter. Also, roggers are evolving, they're smarter as well. So it's always a game of adaptation, as is life in general, because if you don't adapt, you're staying behind. So what we're trying to do here is constantly adapt every single day.